electric and gas, they generally do not turn off. They'll give you a few days grace, but water, they will instantly shut off. And if you don't have water at home, in the wintertime, if you have baseboard heat, your pipes can freeze.
Insurance is needed when you're least expecting
That's
it,
right.
unfortunately. And you wish that you never have to use the insurance. But the beauty of insurance is you have it in case things go wrong, you don't have to worry too much about it. So these are all minor things.
Yeah.
But we don't know, because sometimes as a first-time owner, sometimes as a second or third owner, we forget about it. So these are the things that are happening after.
If the water from your sump pump is pushing out water and putting it right back in, your sump pump is just spinning wheels. So make sure it's disconnected further away from the home so that the water is not just going back into your house. You've spent a lot of money on a home. Invest in it, make sure you're looking to make sure you're going to take care of it.
Namaskar and welcome to Real Estate On Track on ITV Gold, airing every Friday at 8 p.m. with a Sunday repeat at 8 p.m. And yes, Jai Shri Ram to both of you, Sanjeev ji and Alka.
Jai Shri Ram.
Jai Shri Ram to you too, and to all of listeners.
So before definitely we talk about the event, I want to remind all our viewers that they can always reach out to you guys on 732-494-2211. That is their number in case you have any questions, anything. They'll be happy to answer it for you. And yes, let's go ahead with your big ITV Gold Auditorium. We had this big, Pran Pratishtha thing. So go ahead with that.
Yeah, so Ram Ji ka kaam, Ram Ji karte hain, and it worked out beautifully. It was a last minute thing. And all of a sudden, one of the friends says, hey, can I do a Tesla live show?
Wow.
All of a sudden, we have Teslas in the parking lot. So many beautiful devotees. What can we do to help? Everybody brought prasad from home. So there was so much food there.
Yes.
But the event itself, talking about the main thing, was mesmerizing. For those who stayed at the end, when from Modi ji, when he started coming in, till the Pran Pratishtha that was going on, it was silence, and we had so much fun there with flower showering for Ramji, and people were singing, and it was so beautiful. I mean, the whole world, if you look at India, they were saying on the streets, Ram Naam was all over.
Absolutely.
All over the country. In Ayodhya, they had to close streets because of so many people there. Not on that day, but now.
It's like a sea of people.
It's a sea of people, and people are saying, we don't care how long it takes. We want the glimpse of Ramji. And I was reading about the person, Arun Yogi Raj, who did this.
Who made the Ramji's.
He's a young guy.
He's a young guy. He's an MBA.
Yeah.
And his grandfather was a sculptor, and he said, you know what, I'm not going to do MBA. Look at how Ramji chose him.
Absolutely.
So you cannot do this stuff unless you're chosen. All of us had opportunity. Many thought they had to sleep in the night. Many did not sleep in the night. They wanted to see that event live. And it was absolutely beautiful. You could see tears in people who were there in the audience. There were people who gave lives for it. 70 years later after independence, 500 years after this struggle started.
500 plus, yes.
500 plus. Thank God. Ayodhya has become beautiful.
Beautiful.
See, everything happens for the right reason at the right time. Ayodhya is going to be the world destination.
Yeah, that's what they're prepping it for.
They are talking about the gates that they're going to put in when you enter in there. They are talking about the airport that is so beautiful. I don't know if you saw pictures of the airport.
I did, and I was just talking to somebody today, and I was asking them like a rapid fire question, saying that, what do you think? Is it going to be Ayodhya or Tirupati, as far as, number of visitors are concerned, and as far as it's like, the way people are giving stuff.
Yeah, I don't know if there will be competition. They are both two separate entities.
No, I wasn't trying to compete. It was just a question.
But Ayodhya for now is going to be huge.
Yeah.
Because it's not only Ramji, it's what it represents at this point. So that itself is going to bring people, and Diwali is going to be huge there, and 12th is going to be, January 12th is going to be huge there every single year. We're talking about 2 Diwalis at this point in Ayodhya.
Absolutely.
And the Saryu River is becoming beautiful, and they'll have cruise. I mean,
Yeah, he's got a lot of plans.
there are no words.
Just-
There are two right people who are taking care of this. Without being selfish, Prime Minister Modi and CM Yogi. I mean, these Adityanath Yogi, I mean, these people are amazing.
I think
Selfless.
give it like few more years, it will definitely be the hub for the tourists. Just to
It has
Oh, I think
started.
it's just
It has
started.
started
They have a
already.
train, an 18-day journey for Ayodhya, and they take you through each place where Ramji had been. So
Oh, I
it's
didn't know about that.
Yeah, there's like an 18-day train also. So each place where you start from Nepal and all of that stuff, they do a whole 18-day journey. Again, everything is kind of taking you to making Ayodhya the focal point of getting all sort of a visitor destination and doing everything. So pretty
So
nice.
congratulations
Yes,
to everybody.
Congratulations.
I want to add one more thing. Liberal media is making this a Muslim and Hindu thing. It really isn't. There was this corrupt king. He was a barbaric, barbar was. He took the place and converted into a mosque. It wasn't a mosque before. All the proofs have been given. Supreme Court went after it. But liberal media is saying as if Muslims were hurt in this. There are so many Muslims who are happy about this because they see it rightfully. So don't be divided with this. This is not a win of Hindu or Muslim. This is a win of the right over wrong. So please let's accept it just as that.
So now let's start with our, last week we have been talking about buying, selling. So tell me, we have bought a home. What next?
So I think we covered till the closing anyhow,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So just as you close, there are a couple of things that are happening. You're calling the utility companies. You're making sure all the utilities in your name. And why do we do that?
You want to make sure you're not without utilities, right? So electric and gas, they generally do not turn off. They'll give you a few days grace, but water, they will instantly shut off. And if you don't have water at home, in the wintertime, if you have baseboard heat, your pipes can freeze. Otherwise, it's just
Right.
inconvenience.
Bottom line is never take a chance. Let's
Yes.
say you're not sure about your closing. Let's say your closing is tentatively set for 15th of January and it goes to 18th. So be it. All you've done is you call the utility companies and saying, the minute the seller cuts it off, put it in my name. Now let's say they are staying till 18th. You didn't pay for it till 18th. It went to you for 3 days. Even if you had to pay for 3 days, instead of waiting whole day at the home.
Yes.
Without the utilities, like Alka said, gas and electric company are lenient, but sometimes that day isn't right in their route, and they will go and cut
They'll
it
cut it
right
off.
there. Don't take any chances whatsoever. We also talk about the sewer warranty from your water company. Normally, at least in our area, there's Middlesex Water has this company called HomeServe. Through HomeServe, you buy inside and outside sewer line protection.
Yeah.
It's so important, especially if the homes are old. Or it could be a new home
Yeah.
on an old lot that has an old sewer line. So a lot of time we think, oh, I have a new home, I don't need that. The sewer line is still old. So get that protection for $15, $20, it's $19, whatever that amount is per month. You are protected. We had this actually at our home last 10 days ago or a week ago, I don't know. The sewer line blocked outside.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And we had to call within 2 hours they were there. There is
Yeah.
no deductible for it, and they opened the main sewer line for us.
And if at that night you call Roto-Rooter, they know you're in an emergency situation, or any such company, right? They know you're in an emergency situation. They will charge you $600, $800, $900 to
More
come
than
out of
that,
that.
yeah, more
that
than
night.
that, yeah.
So anytime you can fall prey to something, people will make you fall prey. So don't do that. They say an ounce of prevention is better than a pound of cure. And
Right.
this is your ounce of prevention.
Right. So make sure you get that warranty. Now they don't cover you for first 30 days after the closing.
Yeah.
So if you wait for 30 days, now you are 60 days in it. Do it because insurance is needed when you're least expecting
That's
it,
right.
unfortunately. And you wish that you never have to use the insurance. But the beauty of insurance is you have it in case things go wrong, you don't have to worry too much about it. Now, there are a lot of people who don't like warranties. Nothing wrong with it. If you feel you're okay with it and you're willing to take a chance, nothing wrong with it at all too.
So I just had this question, you know, especially for the first time home buyers, what should they like prioritize in terms of like upgrades and stuff like that?
That's all of that is specific to each buyer. But going forward, you want to make sure your smoke detectors are working, your carbon monoxide detector is working. In our Indian cooking, we take
Well,
out.
those will be, when you buy a home, you're already getting a CO or a smoke detector certification. So they are working.
Yes, I understand. But going forward, we're talking about what happens
Afterwards.
So you want to make sure every 6 months you have these things working.
Yes.
But I was in little more in between. Indian cooking, a lot of us will take out the smoke,
Yeah, don't do
the
that.
batteries from the smoke detector. Don't do that. But if you do that day, make sure the battery goes in quickly. Good news is now the new smoke detectors are 10-year battery ones. You cannot even take the battery out of it. So your cooking will have to work around that smoke detector. Fire extinguisher, make that fire extinguisher is there. Some towns have that requirement, some towns don't, but smoke and carbon monoxide are requirements. Fire extinguisher, you want to make sure, even if you're a tenant, you want to make sure it's there. What else?
But Pia, to your question, what Bhaiya is talking about is a must do,
Right.
What you're talking about
Is
is what
like
you
up-
should do.
Yes.
Because those things are, you want to upgrade your kitchen, you want to upgrade your tile, I want to do it and when money allows it and when things get done. These are things that'll prevent a headache, right? Having a PSC&G alarm, PSC&G appliance insurance, so that you know that your appliances are covered. Because in the wintertime, if your heat breaks for some reason, getting a furnace guy out there is going to cost you.
So talking
Inconvenience.
about heat, make sure you're changing your furnace filter. If it's a regular filter every month, if it's a 3-month filter or 6-month filter, because there are those filters, then at least you write the date on them and you know that 3 months later or 6 months later you're changing your filter. For 2 reasons. A, it will keep the thing running fine. B, it makes it efficient. Because more it is clogged, harder it will have to work for you.
And if your filters are clean, you don't need duct cleaning. So their duct cleaning is not, all inspectors tell us, it's not needed as long as your filters are kept clean. So if you're cleaning the ducts but not replacing your filters, there's no use for it. So clean your filters.
So you have moved in your home in September. Winter is coming. In October, November, you want to make sure your outside faucet is turned off. Inside, outside faucet is opened up. Inside water line is turned off. So that all the water drains and you're okay with it. So these are all minor things.
Yeah.
But we don't know, because sometimes as a first time owner, sometimes as a second or third owner, we forget about it. So these are the things that are happening after.
I think you said a very good thing, like, you know, keeping the outside faucets open, and because it has happened with me. You know, we got our basement flooded. First, it was in the first house, and that was when we were learning, you know, how things
These are things
You only
we
make
don't
that
know.
mistake once.
These are the things we don't know. So that happens. So keeping an eye on your plumbing, things are leaking, quickly fix them instead of waiting forever.
Yes, make sure you clean your gutters. If it's November time, make sure.
Alka's favorites are gutters, and don't overdo
Don't
anything, but don't underdo it also. So
Yes,
if you are
it's important.
surrounding with trees, then clean your gutters. If you're in the townhouse, you don't need to have to
you
do
don't have
that.
to do
So certain things, but again, if you're surrounded with so many trees, you may have to do it 2 or 3 times. But if you're surrounded with just enough trees, once a year is okay too. So each home is different, each situation is different.
And when it rains, during your first rain, take an umbrella and walk around your home. Right? Walk around your home to see what's happening. If the water from your sump pump is pushing out water and putting it right back in, your sump pump is just spinning wheels. So make sure it's disconnected further away from the home so that the water is not just going back into your house. You've spent a lot of money on a home. Invest in it, make sure you're looking to make sure you're going to take care of it. Take an umbrella, truly just take a round and say, where is this water headed? If there's a pitch of the soil that is what's called negative grading, and it's going towards your home, all the soil, make sure you pitch the soil properly, because you're going to get water in your basement, and then you're just going to say, oh my God. Another tip is make sure you change your sump pump every 3 to 4 years, because if your sump pumps are not changed every 3 to 4 years, these big storms that we're now getting every couple of years, the sump pumps can't handle them, and they will break. So it's $200, $250, whatever it is. Just do it.
So is the shelf life for a sump pump just 3 years?
No. If
But yeah, I think
it's,
so.
if it's not broken, don't
fix
touch it.
Yes, no, that's
See,
not true.
Have an extra sump pump available in the home.
Yeah, but somebody like me, I would not know what to do with that.
You will
In the middle of a storm, I'm going to figure out what to do with the sump pump?
If a sump pump is working, it's working. It's either working or it's not working. It doesn't get inefficient. Either it's working or it's not working.
It cannot
So
cannot handle
what
I've spoken to these people about it. I am not going to sit here with a brand new sump pump in the middle of the storm. When one breaks, decide I need to open one up and figure it out.
So you can see we agree, but we will agree to disagree and move on. You may know how to change a sump pump, or if you don't know, like Alka is saying, she has a very valid point. You don't know what to do, might as well put a new one in and be done with it. But if you know, have a sump pump ready, and then you're okay. Some basements don't have a sump pump. They don't need one, and it's okay too. So sump pump is only needed when it's needed.
Yes.
Again, if you're going to get a sump pump, then get a battery backup sump pump. It's a little more expensive, but when the power goes off, that's when you need it.
Yeah, that
and all
takes
of a
over.
sudden, now you don't have a sump pump.
Better yet is a water sump pump, which is actually generates with water. Battery backup is only for about 45 minutes out if your lights go out. It's not for too long.
So Alka was talking about it. Honestly, I don't know about that sump pump, but she's talking about a sump pump that works with
water.
with
So as the
water.
water flow comes, it charges the sump pump to work. So it doesn't need
So that is an expensive.
That's an
sump
expensive
pump.
budget.
But
That's
but if you're going to protect water, might as well go with that. Then you don't have to worry about anything at all.
And where do you get that sump pump?
A plumber will install it for you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and then landscaping. Make sure if you bought a big home with landscaping, take care of landscaping.
Take care of landscaping.
It will die. It will have weeds and kill everything if you don't take care of it. So take care of your landscaping, cut your lawns, make sure your neighborhood is looking good, because neighborhood values go up when the neighborhoods look good.
Yes.
So if your neighbor comes and buys $1 million home but doesn't cut the lawn, all of a sudden you're looking horrible. Or you go to the neighborhood and you're looking at this yellow lawn at that time.
Yeah.
Now, personally, if it was me, I would have no lawn at all. I would convert it all to a garden. Because that is what nature wants. You grow your flowers there, you grow your vegetables there. Grass is the worst thing. People are putting so much chemicals into it that chemicals leach into the water system, and then we have cancers, and then we are okay. You know how big this company was sued, Roundup, because of what people are using in those grasses? We want to keep our grass green, but unfortunately, grass green is a wrongly sold item. But either way, if you're keeping the grass green, so be it. But convert it to a garden and become Ayodhya. Ramji and Sitaji met there in a garden.
I think your lawn is like that.
Yeah, we have
and
a
my
garden.
lawn is green, so
Right.
we disagree on that as
Right.
well.
So it's agreement or disagreement is not a topic here. And this is not what you're talking about. We're talking about what is possible. Why not have a garden? We visit gardens of other people. Why not make a garden ourselves and have less chemicals in our own property? See, it's a matter of choice, but it's a matter of also understanding what choice do I have. Now, gardens are much harder to take than lawns.
Oh my God! So that's why.
But
Because it's too much work.
Right, then put artificial grass in there. We are messing up our environment. On one hand, we talk about nature becoming hot and everything. On the other hand, we don't have these bees. We're killing them every single day with these chemicals. Don't put that stuff in there. Make it look good, but if you're going to use it, then you have to do whatever. There is organic stuff there that you can use also. So,
Yeah.
so those are some of the tips.
So next question basically is for both of you. I recently heard that some of the financial advisors talk about not buying a primary home, they say it's a bad investment. What do you guys have to say?
Horrible advice.
Yeah.
Do not agree to anybody. Primary home is your number one best investment long term. Two reasons or few reasons. One, you're living in that home. So there's this guy from Rich Dad Poor Dad. He says that all the time. I don't know if you heard him, but Rich Dad Poor Dad guy says your primary home is an expense, not an investment. Where are you going to live? And what are you making the money for? And why would you want to be a tenant with your own money in somebody's home? So your primary home is your number one investment. A, it gives you a bigger home to live in. B, it gives you that sense of pride of owning your own home. C, it gives you the stability and consistency in a home. D, it almost always goes up in value. Why pay you know what? He says become a landlord, which means you're taking somebody's money to become rich. Why wouldn't you take your own money and become rich in your own investment property? So these guys sell you seminars and make money. That's how they get rich. And you know what? The best way to get rich is go against the normal right thing. And then all of a sudden everybody wants to buy their seminar saying, what does he mean by that? And then they are becoming rich. So he lives in a mansion. He doesn't rent, but he tells you primary home is not a good investment.
Yeah, plus the psychological thing that you have in coming into your own home. There's there's so much to be said. When you go into an apartment and you pull into an apartment, it's an apartment, whatever, right? You're renting it, even if it's a townhome or a single family home. But when you pull into your own, little house, they say jo sukh chajju ke chubare na balak na bukhare, right? Like the thing that you have in your own house, no matter where you go, that peace and contentment isn't going to be
You
there.
feel that sense of belonging kind
that
of.
sense of
Yes.
belonging is huge.
There's a reason we say when we come from a vacation, home, sweet home.
Yeah.
That is your home. Now, yes, your rental property is your home too.
Yeah.
But think about this for a moment. If you're renting for 15 years, every single year your rent goes up.
Yeah.
Anytime the landlord can say, hey, I'm selling my home, you can get out of here. You don't make improvements in the place, including painting, because you're saying it's not my home.
That's right.
All these things you're getting the privilege of doing in your own four walls of the home. The appreciation is so big in there too, that we're talking about with time. There are people, in fact, somebody was just telling me yesterday, I wish I would have bought 10 of those homes 10 years ago. I said 10 years ago, you were all saying, it's too expensive, it will go down.
Yeah,
Right.
You all said it.
10 years later, you'll say today is too expensive. I wish we had bought. 10
Bought
years
them,
from now,
yeah.
you say, I should have done it today. Historically, real estate does go up. What cycle you are caught in could be a bad timing, unfortunately. All of a sudden, you want to sell your home in 3 years from now. The market has gone down. What do? You're stuck with it.
Yeah.
Unless you're buying a bigger home at that time, then you got cheaper home at that time too. So never, ever, ever anybody let you tell you that your primary home is a bad investment. It's not. Yes, very important. If you cannot afford it, don't buy it. Don't buy bigger than you can. And don't buy, I hate when I see these mortgage people talking about 97% mortgage and 103% mortgage, and the loans will be, somebody will give you this and that.
Don't put yourself in
You're
harm's
putting
way.
yourself in harm's way. If you don't have the down payment, if your mortgage is very high and your income will go down and now you're in foreclosure, it's the worst thing that can happen.
That feeling is.
Yeah, so do not buy a primary home if you cannot afford it or more than you can afford it. None of your neighbors is going to be very happy when you buy a bigger home, and every neighbor is going to be very happy when you go bankrupt on it. So don't buy bigger than you need or want. Unless you have so much, then it doesn't matter. Do not hesitate. Will the market go up or down? If you're going to live in it long term, don't even worry about that either.
Yeah.
But paying more than you can afford, that's where things go wrong.
Yeah. The home ownership is the best feeling you'll have.
Yeah.
So don't shy away from home ownership.
If you're a homeowner, tell us how much equity you built in last
Remember that
10 years.
$25 gift card that we have. No purchase is necessary, but you need to write in.
Yeah,
So
if
this is
that
the
answer
topic.
may do it, $25 gift certificate just for telling how you're doing in your home, how much equity you build, and was that a good decision or a bad decision?
And you can email to alka@ontrackrealty.com, sanjeev@ontrackrealty.com, or
at itvgold.com.
p@itvgold.com.
And with that, we want to say thank you, and once again, Jai Shri Ram.
Yes, yeah.
Thank you, and Jai Shri Ram.